You're listening to Satellite Sisters.
What's a satellite sister?
The person you call when the best thing in your life happens or the worst.
The person that gets you up, gets you going, and gets you through.
And every once in a while, changes your mind.
This podcast is part pep talk, part weekly check-in.
Like grabbing coffee with a friend.
Thanks for being here. Welcome to the Satellite Sisterhood.
You're listening to Satellite Sisters. I'm Leanne Dolan. I'm a writer and producer from Pasadena, California, and I'm here with my sisters on our season premiere.
Woohoo! I am Liz Dolan. I am an on-again, off-again corporate executive. I'm a full-time podcaster, and I live in Santa Monica with my dog, Hooper.
Hi, I'm Julie Dolan. I'm in Dallas, Texas, in my closet, but I've lived in various places around the world. I'm an urban nana. I'm a podcaster, an empty nester, and just super happy to be here today.
I know.
Yeah.
First day of
it
school.
is.
It's exciting.
Yeah. What's happening? I forgot how we start.
Okay. First of all, one thing I want to say, we had the whole August hiatus.
Yes.
But thank you so much for sharing all of our shows. We can see that you were listening to all kinds of shows. You were sharing them with each other. You know, the number one way we can grow this show is for you to tell your own satellite sisters. So word of sister is sort of what we're after here. Mm-hmm. So thank you for doing that. Just telling your own satellite sisters or sending them an actual episode. So thanks so much for doing that. One other quick thing. We posted a listener survey on our website. It's 6 easy peasy questions about who you are. And we'd love if you completed it. We don't take your email or identity in any way. It's not going anywhere. And I could see from your comments that a few of you were reluctant to complete the questions on income or age. And I just say, like, round up your income and round down your age and go for it. No one is checking. It's just,
if you want to give us your weight, that'd be fine too, right?
Yeah, give us your driver's license weight. Anyway, we're just going to ask one time this year. This is the one time. So thank you for doing that. It's posted at satellitesisters.com.
And you're wrapping it up Friday.
Friday,
right? It's super quick.
This week. We're just trying to get it done.
Yeah. Liz is on it. Well, all this work we were supposed to do all over August while we weren't producing.
I started on August 31st to do all of my August assignments.
Okay. Good work, Liz. All right. But we did manage to pull together a show yesterday on Labor Day.
Yeah,
we
laboring.
We were laboring, did our regular production call. People had lots to talk about. So we're going to tell you a little bit about what we did on our summer vacations. Julie, you have the top news story, I think, of our lifetime, and that is from the Wall Street Journal about grocery stores.
I know. This is supermarket news. They are making changes to make them easier for men to shop in grocery stores.
Oh,
Leanne, I know
nice.
you have opinions on this, and we're going to I want to hear what you're thinking about some of these big changes that are coming to the grocery store near you.
Fantastic. That's a huge story. All right. Also, I know we've all faced this dilemma before. We sat in front of the freezer and we thought to ourselves, should I just eat the entire pint of ice cream now? Because I know I'm going to do it over the course of the next 5 days. So just so I go all in now. So I'm going to answer that question.
There's science on this?
That's good. I want to know if it applies to a chocolate bar, too.
Oh,
if
well.
you eat one square versus just eating the whole thing.
I think you can extrapolate. Yes, I think knowing the answer, I think you can extrapolate.
We're going to be extrapolating on this show? Wow.
Julie, you and I both pitched the story about microwaves, the microwave spy story. I mean,
this is a very serious story.
It is. But there are some fantastic details in the story about just the science of how microwaves can mess with your head.
I saw the headline on this. I didn't read the story. So I'm glad you guys can explain it to me.
Right. Well, I can't explain it. I can only
but here's a big takeaway, that your human head is a good target for microwaves. So just think about that, people, okay?
As you walk around in your daily life. That's, Julie, I had that underlined. Head is good antenna. That's all you need to know.
Spy Master Julie is going to explain it all to us.
If you weren't worried about microwaves before, you're going to be at the end of this podcast. All right. We have some hot TV news. Liz, one of the most exciting TV shows ever coming towards us. You have a couple of recommendations. I have a book recommendation. Yeah, we have a lot happening. But
first of all, August was a very newsy month, and we were off on our hiatus. So there were lots of big things happening, and we just felt like we needed to address the number one thing that happened during the month of August while we were gone. And that is, of course, Serena Williams tutu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Liz, it's not just a tutu, it's a one-armed tutu.
Oh my God.
I think that's important.
when she walked out on the court wearing that, Julie, at the U.S. Open, I thought, wow, I didn't think it was possible to love Serena Williams more. There is a woman who is so secure in her identity and her physicality and her skills. Just everything about the way she presents herself in the world now is a woman who just could not care less what you think of her. And that's why I love her so much. She is the ultimate just stay noisy persona.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Well,
she is a woman. She is a woman in full, Liz.
Yes.
I mean, she is the greatest athlete of, in her sport of all time. And I think, the whole world loves her even more since she's become a mother. And she's been so candid about the struggles that she's had during her pregnancy and childbirth, postpartum depression. And, when she came out in that tutu, it was jaw dropping.
Julie, you're a serious tennis player. What did you think about
this has been the
as
talk
a piece
of
of equipment?
Okay. Right. So, and if you haven't seen the tutu, please go ahead and Google it. It's fantastic. It comes in a lot of colors. Everyone on my team loves the lavender tutu the best.
Yeah,
okay, because she's wearing different colors for different matches. I can only imagine, dream what, it's going to be for the finals. But I have even more respect for her as an athlete because I don't know how she's playing tennis in that getup, Liz. I mean, it must be 100 layers of tulle going on there. I mean, can you imagine if Roger Federer had showed up for his match last night in lederhosen and tried to play?
It is the equivalent of a kilt or something. Yes.
Right, or Rafa Nadal in a matador cape, I mean, that is the equivalent of what she's doing out there. She is it's like a whole obstacle to be able to move around in that, and yet she
doesn't
is killing
care.
it out.
Yes, yeah.
They're killing it out on the court.
I also love the timing. Go ahead, Julie.
I was going to say, I've heard some people comment that, a lot of times what the athletes wear to these big championship matches, that's what, low level players like myself, this is what we emulate to wear. Now, I don't see myself, because I could not operate that tutu, but I believe that there is going to be a tulle you'll explosion in women's tennis wear, that you will see more tutus out on the court, and I'm all for it.
Yeah. I also love the semi-accidental timing of she comes out in the tutu the same week that the people at the French Open say she's not allowed to wear the catsuit. And the same week that the people at the U.S. Open find a woman for changing her shirt. So you just want to say, what's the deal? We're wearing too many clothes. We're wearing too few clothes. Our clothes are too big. Our clothes are too small. Could you just stop talking to us about what we're wearing? Right. And I put it in the same category as the people that complain, the officials in the tournaments that complain about the sounds women make. Stop talking to us about how we sound or what we wear, okay? Just let us play. So, Serena, I hope she gets all the way to the final and has some spectacular color for the final.
Oh, yeah. She probably white, I would imagine, but it could be pink. You could.
I could be glitter. I'm thinking we're going to go with more glitter. She's got the glitter on her tennis. They're not even tennis shoes. They're tennis boots she wears.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking for the final. But we'll report on it next week. No doubt.
Right. Could be a lot of Americans could make it to the semis in the women. So that's exciting.
Well, there actually is one other piece of sports news that came up after we finished our rundown for today's show. We worked on this yesterday. And then last night I was at home, Monday night, Labor Day, of course, watching the Federer match, which was harrowing, right? And the match gets into the fourth set. My phone rings. It's 10 o'clock at night. Who's calling me at 10 o'clock at night? Well, Roger Federer is playing. I don't know. I'm not answering it. I look at it. It's the 202. I'm not answering anyone calling me from the 202. So then, Roger loses in the fourth set. I was very sad about that, but it was a thrilling match. And I listened to the message. The 202 includes the Washington Post sisters. So It was a reporter from the Washington Post was doing a story all about the history of the Just Do It campaign. because as you may have noticed, that campaign made some news yesterday.
Yes, yeah.
And so they were writing up that Nike included Colin Kaepernick in the campaign, but also it is the 30th anniversary. And so there were many years.
As one of many athletes.
As one of many athletes,
They're
right.
doing a whole series of ads.
Yeah.
They're good.
So,
I like 'em.
Anyway, they were doing this whole 30 years, and there were many years where I was involved in that campaign, like the whole 90s, for instance. And I actually started working.
I think the late 80s.
And the late 80s.
Yes.
I started work at Nike literally the month that campaign launched.
Yeah.
So I feel like I've lived through Just Do It. And so it was just.
You sent me a bumper sticker.
I did?
Yeah, Just Do It bumper sticker. I didn't have a car at the time, so I was... I was like, what am I supposed to do with this? I was ski bumming in Wyoming. But yeah, I think I should have saved it. One of the original Just Do It bumper stickers.
Oh, that'd be worth a lot now.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, it is really fascinating to
Yeah.
think about, three little words, a campaign like that, how you keep it alive over 30 years. And one of the things that I say in this story, and I'll put a link to the Washington Post story. It's in the paper today. I guess that's why they called in the middle of the night, is that during the mid 90s, we were constantly beating our heads against the wall. Like, okay, should we move on from Just Do It? It's like we're getting a little bored with it. And we kept trying to think up something better. And every year we would try to work on something better. Like, is there a better tagline than that? And every year we would say, nope, no, there's nothing better than that. That the whole key was attaching the right athlete stories to those three words. And whether it's a famous professional athlete or just a regular old person who's running their first marathon, that's what that campaign has been about forever. So I'll put it in the show notes. It's an interesting tale, and it was interesting that they hunted me down on my cell phone in the middle of the night. Thank God the match didn't go 5 sets. Otherwise, there's no way I would have called that guy at the Washington Post back.
All right. Good work. Well, we were on hiatus, as Liz and Leon have mentioned. And first of all, I just want to thank all of the people over at our Facebook group. And if you would like to join our Facebook group, it's very easy. There's no admissions essay or anything like that. You can just just join. But one of the things that I did over the hiatus was I did celebrate my 40th wedding anniversary. And as I said I was going to do to commemorate that, I was attending a wedding. One of my satellite sister friends' son was getting married. And I decided to wear the dress that our mother wore to my wedding 40 years ago. And I mentioned earlier that this was some magical dress. I don't know how it's possible. Our mother kept this dress for all those years, and particularly towards the end of our parents' lives, when they moved quite a few times, how this dress sort of made the cut every time and then ended up with me. I don't know.
It's amazing. Yeah.
But so it was amazing. It was amazing to wear the dress. I posted a picture. It's on it's on our Satellite Sisters website as well. You can see it. And I just want to thank all the people that wrote such nice comments. Thank you very much. I loved wearing the dress. I loved telling people what the dress was about, and people just loved hearing that story. So that was very special. And thank you for your comments. I would have to say my husband, the international man of mystery, who I rarely show or talk about directly, he was very pleased with all the cute comments. Yeah. But so that was one of the big things I did on my summer vacation. But I also did Nana Camp. And this is another big shout out and thank you to the Facebook group. I love, love, love seeing pictures of other Nanas hosting their Nana Camps this summer. So I had Nana Camp Dallas edition this summer. Due to schedules and things like that, my 3 grandchildren here were going to be here in August, and I flew to New York. I got one of my granddaughters, Josephine, flew her down so that I could have the 4 cousins together. And that really was the theme for Nana Camp this summer, Dallas edition, is that I think, again, as my role as Nana, as their grandmother, I think helping to build that sense of connection, and particularly among cousins, because sisters, we have wonderful cousins that they are pure fun, pure joy, and we have this terrific relationship with them. And I would like to give the gift of cousins to my grandchildren so that they have time to bond with each other. They're not sibling, there's no rivalry like they are as siblings. And it's just great to see them all together. So that was one of my major themes, just having the cousins bond. We did a lot of swimming. We
That's
played
good.
checkers and
Checkers.
Monopoly.
Oh.
Those are life skills those three things I feel are life skills
Yes.
that I think everyone needs to know. I believe in eating and sleeping well at Nana Camp. I believe in manners. And I also like to be a role model for them spiritually. And what that means is we say our grace and we say our prayers. So, and then I like to return everyone in the same condition that I got them. And that's what happened this summer at Dallas Nana Camp.
So there are no broken arms, no serious
No
scrapes,
broken arms,
no black eyes.
no scrapes, no bruises. Everybody came, had a lot of fun, and I think made good memories. And I think that is important.
That is.
Good.
Good work, Nana.
Okay. I have a little summer vacation report. I mentioned on our Ask Us Anything show that I was working the whole summer vacation. I can't actually tell you what yet, but I'm on deadline for something.
Okay.
So I worked every single day of summer vacation. So
We can't wait to hear.
If you're going to hear, if this is going to sound like it wasn't much of a vacation, well, you got that right. But I had a few highlights. Okay. 4 years running now, I believe I have perfected the college drop-off house guest protocol.
Whoa.
Now, we are in the zone where a lot of our college friends, my husband and I both went to college in Claremont, California, at Pomona College, one of the Claremont colleges. They are dropping off their children at college. We live halfway between all the Claremont colleges, like Pomona and CMC and Scripps, and Occidental, another small liberal arts school.
Yeah.
So for the last 4 years, we have had, after drop-off, we have either hosted or had people like coming in, staying with us, just eating. You know, we have a whole protocol now.
Nice.
So I feel like we've perfected
Putting it out there, too, on the pod, Leah.
I know.
You're gonna get...
We had guests. We had college friends dropping off their son at Oxy for 3 nights because they drove down. So we had the college kid the first night, and then the parents the 2 nights. There's an orientation, blah, blah. Here's the key to this.
Do you do an orientation?
Do you provide any guidance, wisdom on
who's
drop-off?
orienting who?
Here's what I got, you guys. Here's the protocol.
Yeah.
Very low expectations. You don't know how people are going to react to college drop-off. Some people are elated. Some people are exhausted. Some people are emotional.
Yeah.
So I have no expectations that you as the house guest will be entertaining.
Okay.
I also have no expectation for your student. You know, if it's the night before they're dropped off at college, they don't want to talk to me.
No.
Yeah, I don't have to ask them what their major is
No,
or where their new roommates are from. They don't care.
They could not be less interested
and
in
so
you.
I have no expectations about your behavior or your children's behavior. 2, when you come, you will get chicken enchiladas because that's what everybody wants before they go to college, right? they want chicken
That's
enchiladas.
solidly in one last good meal. Good.
Yeah. And then after you drop off, we will not require you, again, to be entertaining, to go out to dinner, to do anything.
No.
You come back, take a long shower, have a glass of wine. I will have ceviche for you, my signature ceviche. Or I will have the ricotta cheese extravaganza.
The homemade ricotta cheese.
So that you just walk in the door. You don't even have to speak to me. Just start eating and drinking. That's what you want.
Showering.
That's it. And then in the morning, there's coffee. There is coffee cake that I buy from my friend who can bake coffee cakes because I can't. But again, I don't have any expectation. You don't have to talk to me. You don't have to do anything. We're here for you.
So you're sort of like a halfway house, Leah. That's
It's exactly
really what you
right.
are.
Feel like we provide an excellent service and that we've really nailed it now. Like in the beginning, we may have had too many expectations, but now very low. Just come, eat, drink, don't speak. We got it. So we did that.
But they can speak if they want.
They can talk if they want.
Yeah, okay.
We're here for you. I mean, we're here for you if you want to talk. But if you don't want to talk, that's fine.
Okay.
So we're good. We got that. We had fun doing that. And here's just one side note: the couple we had, he went to college with us and she went to Yale. Her college roommate was Brett Kavanaugh. Her college classmate was Brett Kavanaugh.
Her roommate was Brett Kavanaugh? Call the Senate.
No, her classmate. I know. But we all made us feel old and not doing very well in our lives.
Big old flop.
Wow. Your college
That's
classmate is nominated for the Supreme Court? Wow,
Yeah,
we are losers. Okay.
Leanne, I'm surprised you did not get a call from the Washington Post.
Yeah.
Because
I have strong opinions on things, as you know.
All things sports.
All right. 2, Julie, this one's for you. I had a Pioneer Woman breakthrough. Okay.
What is that, Leanne?
Well, you know how we torture ourselves and we watch the Pioneer Woman, the cooking show.
We love her.
And we love her. And yet there's nothing usually that she makes that I ever think, oh, that looks good. Like
I've never seen that show.
It's just, it's a lot of treats.
It's not for you, Liz.
Yeah.
I don't see you as the Pioneer women.
No. No. But Julie, I actually made a recipe from the Pioneer Woman TV show this vacation. I made a pork chop recipe.
Which one was it?
I made a sheet pan pork chop recipe. And Julie, hold on to your hats because it included using seasoning from ranch dressing mix.
Wow. Sounds good, Leanne.
It was savory and tasty. I mean, she put a packet of that ranch seasoning on every single thing on the sheet pan, and that is what I did, and it was a big hit. So that's all I have to say.
Leanne, you got to post that recipe. That sounds delicious.
I will post. I will post the link. I'll post the link. And then finally, our big finale at the last night in August, we went to the Hollywood Bowl to see John Williams. He was celebrating his 40th anniversary appearing at the Hollywood Bowl. So 40 years of conducting the LA Philharmonic Orchestra there. He's missed a bunch of years, but in general, he did
a few other things.
It was 40 years. So, but this was the key, that because it was 40 years, his good friend Steven Spielberg came with him. He said, I've been asking Steven to come to the Hollywood Bowl with me for years. He's never done it. So it was like the greatest hits. The two of them talking about their 45-year creative partnership, which is extraordinary.
Yes, right.
It started with Jaws, and then they would show. Stephen would talk about certain things like film clips. Like he showed the clip of Indiana Jones, the third Indiana Jones movie, the one where it's young River Phoenix as young Indy on the circus train.
Sure. Yeah.
So, okay, when you saw the sequence, you remember it. So they showed it without the music, and then they showed it with the music.
How fascinating.
It was fantastic to hear Steven Spielberg sort of talk through the film clip on stage, like, oh yeah, here's the whip, here's where he finds the whip, oh, then he gets the scar, that's Harrison's scar. Like, it was kind of the Indy origin story, that sequence, and then to hear it with the music, fantastic.
Wow.
Great to hear him talk about Schindler's List, what that was like the double responsibility that the two of them had, and how their partnership was very different, creating a movie based on real life than, say, E.T.
Yeah.
And then they played E.T. Okay, I haven't seen E.T. since it came out. Remember back in the day when you just see movies once and you don't watch them 8 million times? I don't know. I probably saw it again in college, but it's been 30 years. I was a sobbing mess. I forgot how emotional, when E.T. gets on that bicycle and rides up to the moon, it's unbelievable. And to watch Steven Spielberg's face watching E.T. with John Williams playing live, it was unbelievably great. So it's a very special night. We've been for the last couple of years to the Hollywood Bowl to see John Williams, but this was
this seems like a really unique night.
It was fantastic. Yeah. And then,
so did you film it all on your cell phone so you can share it with all of us?
Not the whole thing. No, I have 25 seconds of the Star Wars thing because they had the Army, the U.S. Army trumpet brigoon or something.
I don't think that's the right word, Leanne.
I think it is.
I'm 100% sure.
It's a trumpet brigoon.
It is not called a trumpet brigoon.
Brigoon. Anyway.
Okay, whatever.
You were doing so well.
Okay, somebody at home can look that up.
That's a military word. That's a military word.
You did tweet that out. We cannot use music on the podcast because we'll get sued. But on Twitter, you can do whatever you want.
No one cares.
So if you follow Leanne on Twitter, you will see the brigoon.
It's a brigoon. The brigoon. But you know what they open with?
Brigadoon. Maybe you were trying to say brigadoon?
No, brigoon. You know what they open with? The Olympic fanfare.
Oh,
which you kind of forget that John Williams created.
Right.
So they just walked out on stage and played that fanfare. I went nuts. And then they had, cut all these great Olympic stuff in the background. They had the screens. And then they ended with Star Wars, the Star Wars theme. So it was fantastic.
John Williams, man.
It was a great LA night. I will say that. That's hard to top Steven Spielberg and John Williams on stage with, thousands of people waving their lightsabers. At the end.
Wow.
That's the best at the Hollywood Bowl. All right, we have to take a break.
Wow. I feel like we just did a whole show. We covered so much in the first segment.
So, Julie, while we're doing the sponsors, can you look up Brigoon? I know that's a word. It's a word.
Not the way you said it.
It is. All right.
Okay, now
we're back. And while you were doing the ad, sisters, I did Google. Was the question: is Brigoon a word? And Google wrote back and said, "Did you mean Brigadoon?" I said, "No, Google, I did not mean that." They said the closest that Google can come to it, Leon, is dragoon.
That's what I was thinking of.
But that is a heavily armored battalion of people on horses.
Of trumpets.
On horses. Yeah.
It's a military word, though.
Yes, it is.
Close enough.
Okay.
Thank you, Julie. That's good.
Well, that's the kind of thing for you, sister. So,
excellent.
And Leon, when I read this story in the Wall Street Journal, I was like, I have got to talk to Leon about this. Okay. This is supermarket news. You love grocery stores. Yes. You love grocery store trends. Well, here's the thing. Grocery stores are catering to a new type of client, Leon. Men. Men are finally shopping in grocery stores, and grocery stores want to be able to cater to this new group. So they're creating a number of design concepts to appeal to men. Okay, number one, lower shelving heights and straight corridors, because apparently when they did focus groups with men feel trapped in grocery stores. They like to see the exit and the checkout areas from wherever they are in the grocery store. So they don't want to meander through some giant deli display, or, they don't want to get off the beaten track. They just want to be able to get in and get out and be able to see that. They also feel like they didn't like it when grocery stores, which they do that at the end of each aisle, they stack things really, really high. Men don't like that. So grocery stores are taking them down. They're putting in lower shelving heights and straight corridors to give guys a clearer view of the checkout.
What's that about?
Is that some sort of metaphor? Is it?
Yeah.
Like I need a view of the exit? At all times? Don't block me, man. I need a view of the exit. What's that about?
That is deep.
I don't think it's about groceries.
Okay, see, they don't like visual cluttering, Leon. Okay, for example, the other thing is they want more men's sections in grocery stores. So grocery stores are putting in areas next to their makeup, highly priced, overpriced makeup areas, where you'd find beard products and protein supplements that would appeal to the male shopper. Mm-hmm. No, I'm fine with that. Do you have a problem with that?
No. I don't have a problem with really anything. It's just odd. It's suspicious to me. Okay, nothing. So far, so good.
I'd be fine if they took all makeup out of all grocery stores anyway. They're just whole aisles. I would never go down all of that stuff down there. I do.
But sometimes you need it, Liz, and you can't go to. You don't have time to go to a separate drugstore. So it's very convenient. Okay. Other thing, fewer ads and promotional messages in the food stores. That men do not respond to when they have ads on the floor, when they have ads popping out of the aisles, when they have ads on the shopping carts. Men don't respond to it.
Well, really,
so they're saying get rid of those.
Do you?
Apparently, women do. Leon, do you respond to those?
I like when they have things popping out at me.
Really?
Attracting me to a new product or a promotional item.
Okay.
I love all this stuff stacked at the end. What's at the end, I think? What's special this week? My gosh, there are 900 kinds of Triscuits stacked at the end of this aisle. I look forward to the La Croix display. Who doesn't? Okay, go ahead.
I know. So other things, more, maybe have you noticed this in Pasadena? More masculine floral designs in the floral area, that these would be featuring woods and barks and branches, less pink carnations, less turquoise flower bouquets, just more floral designs that a man might buy.
Oh. I actually have noticed a lot more like wood things and stuff, but I just thought it was a trend, not because men like it.
I thought that was from Fixer Upper. I thought that was Chip and Joanna Gaines.
Yes.
I thought that was theirs rather than, but they are trying to appeal to men, to get men to buy more of those floral designs. And then just a lot of programming, in-store programming, like beer refill areas, what do you call those? Growlers? Yeah. A lot of stores are putting in growlers, again, for men, or they're offering butchery classes. I don't know. You can.
That makes me laugh. The thought of my husband going to a butchering class
At a butcher?
Yeah, that just makes me laugh. That makes me laugh.
It makes you laugh.
Here's what I think.
Or that gas discount, which I love.
I like
but
the gas.
apparently that's not for us, Leanne. That's for men.
I'm
Because
using
men
it
like
anyway.
the gas.
Are we allowed
Gas-
to use it? Because I enjoy the gas discount.
Well, it just when
seems
I
like
read
kind
this
of a
article, I was
universal
like,
thing.
this is nice. Yes, this is nice, and I'm glad. I think many of these changes are fine, but I do feel a little bitterly, and like we've been slugging away grocery shopping for years and years and years, and what they didn't care about us.
Exactly.
And now there's this new Johnny come lately
Yeah.
named Johnny
Yeah.
who's going to be shopping, and so now they're going to like turn the whole store upside down.
I
They're,
agree.
You know,
I still feel like the number one way to my heart is customer service, is checkers and baggers. Like that's, you want to like appeal to everybody enjoys checkers and baggers. It's like, hey, how about at the deli counter? How about moving faster than the speed of an iceberg that deli counter so I can get some chicken salad fast. So yeah, I am a little bitter, Julie. You can hear it coming into my voice, because I think the worst thing in the world are all those like beer tastings they have now and the free samples. That is just people cluttering the aisles. I cannot stand it. I just want to be able to go in and go out. I just don't get it.
No programming for you.
I don't need programming. I don't need programming at the grocery store. I need groceries. I need checkers and baggers. It's working
and
simultaneously.
I would like someone to take our carts in the parking lot. That would be nice.
Would be nice, Julie. It would be nice.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm going to keep my eye out for these things. I'm going to check the
This
beard
Yes,
solve.
we'd like to hear from you. If you have masculine things going on in your grocery store, we want to know about it.
All right, here we go. It's the question we've been asking ourselves all summer. Is eating a ton of ice cream in one sitting worse for you than eating a bite a little bit every night?
That is a fascinating existential dilemma.
I mean, yeah, you've asked yourself this question,
because
haven't
it's
you?
the same number of calories.
It is.
No matter how long you take to eat it.
It is.
So why not?
Okay, well, according to Dr. Raj, Liz, of Health Magazine, it's not clear-cut. Okay, some research suggests that...
Thanks for the big build-up.
Yeah, no, but she has an opinion on this.
Okay.
So you're right. It's the same number of calories. But some research suggests that every so often binges can increase your metabolism slightly so that you may gain less weight if you were to spread out those calories over a handful of meals. All right. That's encouraging, right?
Wait, that's a binging is good?
That's a little every so often binges. Yes.
Okay.
All right. However, it isn't guaranteed that everyone's body will react the same way. Well,
I know how
no
mine's going to react.
Dr. Raj. Okay. Thanks, Dr. Raj. Some people who have very serious health issues like type 2 diabetes, that steep blood sugar increase is not going to be good for you. And another potential snag is that this is my favorite phrase, these type of feeding frenzies have the potential to trigger future cravings. I think that's the big takeaway, Liz, right?
Like a pint in one sitting becomes a habit, and it's not once a week. It's twice a week.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, boom.
You're not just
every night.
Right. Yes.
There you with go. Ice cream, it's always nice to have a little cookie too.
Yeah.
Or, so
yes.
Well, you get that sugary taste and you want to keep filling that.
So you know why, Julie? Because according to Dr. Raj, the more sugar we consume, the more likely it is that our taste buds could become desensitized to sweets. And as a result, we will need more and more sugary sweets to satisfy our sweet tooth over time. Now, chances are, and this is the other part that seems pretty self-explanatory, but I was glad it was in here. Chances are, too, you don't really feel that good after eating an entire pint of ice cream. Thanks, Dr.
That's
Raj.
Correct.
So that's the listen to your body strategy.
Yeah. That, maybe the bloating and abdominal pain is also a turnoff to eating the entire pint. See, that's why I think those low-calorie pints of ice cream, which we've talked about before,
are dangerous. That halo top or whatever it's called.
It's dangerous because then you're like, oh, I can eat the whole thing. But it has all those fake sugars in it. It's also not very good for you. But you're also thinking, oh, I can eat the whole thing.
Yeah.
So
right.
Is that
Do not train yourself to eat the whole thing.
I think
is
it's
the
just
message
don't
here.
get a pint of ice cream. I mean, seriously, I find that when I'm trying to cut back, I just get the cream fudgesicles.
Oh, I get the mango fruit bars.
Yeah, because they're only 40 calories, the little fudgesicles, and they're tasty. They're very tasty, and they're satisfying, and it's not an entire pint of ice cream. All right, so I hope that helps people. That was our big health news story.
Thanks, Leanne. That really is a groundbreaking report.
Just remember, eating an entire pint of ice cream makes you feel bad. Oh yeah, that's right.
How about
Makes
microwaves
you
blowing
feel
up
like
my
a
head?
big dragoon, Leanne. That's what it makes you feel like.
Big dragoon. Okay, this was a story in the New York Times this weekend. I read the headlines. Microwave weapons are prime suspects in ills of U.S. embassy workers. And immediately you just start to get suspicious of your household items, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of people that think microwaves in your kitchen cause all kinds of health issues. And this is just the kind of headline that's going to freak them out.
Yeah.
And you know
For
what?
good reason.
For good reason, Liz, because you know what? They've been working on since the Cold War. Washington, the Americans have feared that the Russians have been working on microwave weapon technology since the Cold War for years and years.
You know, but that this was at the story in the New York Times, and the Russians are working on it, but so are the United States.
So are we.
We've been working on it too.
Yes.
We've been working on microwave weapons to disrupt behavior, for idea dissemination. The Navy was working on a project where they sought to use microwaves in order to paralyze people.
Yeah.
As weapons.
No. Okay. Let me ask a question.
Okay,
This
so-
is Liz. So they're using microwave ovens or just microwaves in general?
Okay.
Microwave technology.
So microwave technology.
Okay.
So Liz, here's the backstory here. So you remember when those diplomats were affected in Cuba?
I remember we talked about that on the show.
And as well in China. Also at a consulate in China, they have had the same kind of situation. Yeah.
Okay,
Go ahead.
so a medical team examined the 21 affected diplomats from Cuba, an American medical team. And they now consider microwaves the main suspect. And the team is increasingly sure that the diplomats suffered brain injury from the microwaves.
Wow, that's terrifying.
Yeah, the doctor in charge, Dr. Smith, I'm sure that's his real name, it's him. Everybody was relatively skeptical at first, and now everyone agrees there's something here. And Dr. Smith, remarked that both the doctors and the diplomats were joking about the immaculate concussion. But strikes with microwaves are now more plausibly explained. Painful sounds, ills and traumas, other culprits, including inciting contagious anxiety, viral infections, and sonic attacks.
Wow.
How crazy is that?
This was really serious. And they think that the weapon for something like this, could be as simple as a satellite dish that was either handheld or mounted on a car or a van or a helicopter. And that by concentrating a beam of this microwave, that's how they were impacting the diplomats. So then the question, nobody knows, well, who did this? Was it the Cubans? Were the Cubans doing this, or some faction of the Cubans, because they didn't want, this was, as you remember, this was right when the U.S. Embassy opened and we were opening our relations with Cuba. So was it some faction of the Cuban government that was involved with this? Is it the Russians? Okay, because again, the Russians have enjoyed a close relationship with the Cubans, and maybe they didn't like the idea that the Americans were moving to town.
Right.
And that by doing this very suspicious microwave thing, that this would disrupt the relations between the U.S. and Cuba, or is it the Chinese? Because the same symptoms are being reported by diplomats in a consulate in China of the hearing the noise, the nausea, the headaches, the memory loss. And so it's unclear who's behind this. But you're right that at first this was dismissed, but now they're thinking this really could be from microwaves.
So how do we protect ourselves? Is it the tinfoil hat? Do they suggest a way we can
No, there was
protect
no
our heads,
conclusion.
these
I mean,
people?
other than, as we stated at the beginning of the show, I was alarming to read that your head is an excellent target
Perfect
for
antenna.
microwaves.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
because it's so mushy
thick.
in there,
Yeah.
just absorbed?
It's big and round, and it's right up there on the, it's up high.
Melon
and,
head.
Yeah.
And here's one interesting detail from this article in the Times, and we'll link to this, is that there is a special a group of scientists who consults with the U.S. government about a secretive group of elite scientists that helps the federal government assess new threats to national security. Mm-hmm. And the name of that group, Liz, is Jason.
Jason?
Yes.
As in Jason Bourne?
Liz, I mean, I don't know. Where did they get that name? Jason. I mean, somebody called J.J. Abrams.
That's Joint Action Squad.
Secretive group, Liz. That's what it is.
Joint Action Secret. Wow. Because I actually have Jason Bourne news coming up in the next segment.
I know. So this could be another great TV show. Jason, yes. Come on, get on it. But yeah, it is pretty scary. And there's like one American.
It is very scary. And it's, and it's really, and what recourse do we have for these diplomats that have really been injured by this is, it's hard to know because no one's taking credit for it. So
right. We have our longtime listener, Erin, who's based in Beijing because her husband is a Marine at the embassy there. And so she's posted a little bit about this in the Satellite Sisters Facebook group when it first happened there.
Yeah. Well, just thought it was interesting. I mean, I think it's terrifying, and it does make me suspicious of my appliances, which I know it's sort of different.
Yeah.
But Julie, you actually brought the facts, so good work. I was just disturbed by the fact that our head is a perfect antenna and that the group is called Jason. Just really weird.
I suggest you keep your head in the freezer, Liam. That might be good.
Where are the fudgicles? All right, coming up, we do have some entertainment recommendations for you.
We do, many.
And our to-do list.
Okay, it's time for Entertaining Sisters. Wow, there was so much going on during the summer, but, fall is when things start to get exciting with movies and TV shows. But first we have to talk about favorite movie of the summer. Is everyone in on Crazy Rich Asians?
So fun.
You guys all saw it, right?
Absolutely, Liz.
Oh, my God.
Loved it.
That movie made me laugh out loud so many times I was shocked. And everyone in the theater was just enjoying themselves. Even the woman next to me who arrived late had like bundles of things, not just popcorn and stuff. I don't know. It's like she was moving in and then she tapped me and explained in advance she wanted to just make sure I noticed that she had her service Yorkie with her.
Oh.
So there was something about having a Yorkie with me to enjoy Crazy Rich Asians, which really which felt right. Anyway, I loved it.
Did you read the book?
No, I never did.
I had read the book, and it was on our Satellite Sisters summer read list. What I loved about the movie, I felt like they cleaned up some of the weaknesses in the book. Like they just made it super tight and fun, and they just could focus on the story, not so much in the shopping and the stuff. And I loved it.
Yeah.
It's also just like great to see a rom-com.
Yes.
I don't care who's in it.
Right.
Like,
it was delightful and just absolutely beautiful from a production.
Yeah.
It really made, I love seeing all the scenes in Singapore,
Yes.
all the delicious food scenes, having lived in Asia, it just made me really homesick for that part of the world. I mean, it was really, really great.
And it's made a ton of money.
Yes. It's the most successful rom-com in 9 years, I read.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll get a whole new bunch of rom-coms. That would be great.
That would be great.
I thought the couple was fantastic and fun to watch, and it was a lovely romantic story. But also the supporting cast. Like, I got to say, every time Awkwafina was in a scene, she was insane. The best friend was like...
Yes, she was great.
Everything she wore, just the way she carried herself, the way she delivered all of her lines. Oh, my God.
Her whole family was funny. I thought her whole family was funny. I enjoyed the movie. Yeah.
So I just saw it over the past weekend, so I was sort of late to the movie. But also, as I'm waiting before the Yorkie arrived, I saw 3 awesome trailers that I thought would be worth noting here on the show because they were all upcoming movies about music, and they all looked really great. The first one is, of course, the Bradley Cooper Lady Gaga remake of A Star is Born.
Cannot wait.
When does that open?
Cannot come out soon enough. I should have looked that up.
I'll look it up.
Okay, Leon's going to dragoon up that information. I think it's November, but I'm not sure. Anyway, so we've all seen that trailer. I could watch it 1,000,000 times. Well, we're putting the trailer in our show notes just so you can watch it 1,000,000 times. So that looks great. But also there were 2 others. One is a movie called Blaze that is coming out. It's by Ethan Hawke. He's not in it, but it's about it's the true story of a musician named Blaze Foley. That looks really, really good. And then also the Freddie Mercury movie. So the life of, Freddie Mercury and Queen. The movie's called Bohemian Rhapsody, but it stars Rami Malek, who I think is fantastic. So that's coming out this fall, too. So there you go. A Star is Born, Blaze, Bohemian Rhapsody. I like all three on my list.
The opening
Some
date
good
for...
escapism right there, Liz.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. So opening day is October 5th.
Okay. Oh,
October
soon.
5th. Yeah.
Okay. You're right about the escapism, Julie. You know, my August motto was less news, more music. And I think I'm going to carry that right through the fall. More
Great.
music movies, because a little entertainment. We could all use a little light entertainment out there.
Yeah.
Okay. But now it's going to get serious, Julie, because I have a TV tip for you.
Okay. I'm ready.
I am a former TV executive. And this past weekend, I filled out my Emmy ballot. And I was, once again voting for The Americans as best drama. Come on, people. This is your last chance.
This is it.
It's The Americans. Just they better win this year. But then in that same realm, I saw a note about a brand new show that's coming out. It's been ordered to series, as they say, by USA Network. They're adapting the Bourne series into a television series called Treadstone.
Oh,
and I just thought,
excellent.
Julie,
now, who's going to be starring as Jason Bourne?
Well, that's the thing. I don't want to disappoint you before I even get you psyched up. It's going to follow a number of sleeper agents all over the world, none of whom are Matt Damon, right? So it's because remember, Treadstone was the program Jason Bourne is in. So we figured there are other sleeper agents out there. So they're working on it. It's going to come out next year. But I just know how many times you and your husband have rewatched all of the Bourne movies.
It's amazing to me. I can tell you as a former TV executive how many times the Bourne movies are on in a weekend. Every time I walk into my house, one of the 3 Bourne movies is running. And I was like, did you order this up? Or no, it's just on, USA Today, or he's watching it nonstop. That's his number one movie. Okay. At least once a weekend, we're watching a Bourne. He's watching a Bourne movie. Yeah.
Well, Treadstone.
So if there's a TV show, I'm never going to get out of the house now.
It's going to be an action thriller series about Black Ops CIA programs, Julie. So maybe they'll get to the bottom of the whole microwaving your head issue in Treadstone, too. By then, they might have the actual science on that. So there you go. USA Network. Wait for it, 2019.
I like that it's on USA, because that means it'll be sort of fun and popcorny.
Yes.
It won't be super dark. And it will have it's little sex appeal.
It's like Suits.
It'll have a little sex appeal. It's like Covert Affairs that I missed from that network. So that's good.
Okay.
Yeah. And Julie, have you seen the Jack Ryan? Have you?
Of course. It just came out this weekend. We have
watched the whole thing already?
All 8 episodes. Yes. I highly recommend it. I thought it was really well done, well written, well acted. John Krasinski is excellent in it. So well done.
Yeah, we had to stop ourselves from watching all 8. I mean, again, because that was pretty much the entirety of our summer vacation was watching that.
Was Jack Ryan?
We didn't go anywhere or do anything. So
Jack Ryan.
So there you have it.
Well, I'm sure we'll go in depth next weekend. We may rewatch it several times. So
we can talk about it.
I'll have
next
a
week.
few more details for you. Yeah.
Do you have more news, or is it me?
No.
Okay.
I think it's you had some book
I
recommendations.
had a couple of book recommendations. One of the things I did do in August was read a ton. I usually do that when I'm writing. So here's one: Anna Quinlan, a writer we've had on Satellite Sisters, Solid Gold Satellite Sister, novelist, former columnist from the New York Times and Newsweek magazine. So she is. Her book came out in the spring. It's called Alternate Side. Okay, alternate side, because it's
alternate side of the street parking kind of thing.
Exactly.
Okay.
It is
which is a New York thing.
It's a very New York novel. So if you're wondering who's going to like this, because she hasn't written a New York novel in a while. So people who love New York will like this book.
Oh, me.
People who understand parking in New York.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then people who want.
Even my granddaughter, who's 4, understands parking in New York. Yeah.
So she's in that. If you want to get the audiobook, she might enjoy it. Although It's not really for 4-year-olds. And then just understand that the parking is an extended metaphor for marriage.
Oh.
So it has these 3 elements. Very New York-y. It's very sort of New York real estate, parking driven.
Yeah.
And then where can you park,
Your
own
marriage?
a home, and be married all at the same time in New York?
Oh.
So
okay.
that's what I would say. But one of the things, I know, Julie, I hear you like, oh, Julie, you'd like it. One of the things I loved about it was that there was a lot of New York used to be this and now it's this. And the used to be New York is the New York of our childhood. It was dirty, disgusting, dangerous.
Yes.
Like where at any moment you could be mugged, you know? And
Action-packed.
And which she's sort of like mournful that is not the case anymore. Then Manhattan has been so cleaned up. There's no place in New York where you feel slightly endangered anymore. And she misses it, you know? And that's it. It's so safe now, New York. Like, where's the excitement? So that's
theme park.
Yeah. But that's Anna Quinlan. She's a wonderful writer. She just really can drill down, pick out these moments that you've experienced, you know, in your own life, and she can illuminate them. So I enjoyed it. Alternate side. And then the other one I wanted to recommend is a book set in India. It's called The Storyteller's Secret, and it's by Sheja Bajani. And it is a beautiful, fascinating, intriguing book about India. So if you wanted to do a little armchair traveling this fall, this is like a totally enjoyable family saga set in India that you can just dive into and enjoy.
Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed that one too. So,
The Storyteller's Secret. Okay,
Yes.
we'll have links in the notes.
all right, our to-do list. We're wrapping up here. Let's see. How do we do? Where are we on time?
Yeah,
We're okay.
We're good.
We're good.
Just about nailing it. Even after a month off.
We're gonna get this. We are gonna get this show someday. We're really gonna wrap it up smoothly. Everything's gonna happen for us one day.
Keep hope alive, Lian.
All right, Joel, what's on your to-do list this week?
Shopping this week. I am shopping at Satellite Sisters. Okay, I'm coming out to see you girls at the end of September, and I need some fresh Satellite Sister merchandise to wear. I'm gonna get some cute T-shirts, maybe a sweatshirt, a different hat. So that's on my list for this week.
You know, it's funny. We decided like our press photos are literally 15 years old. And
I was going to say 100. So
okay, I 15 is a lie. They're 20 years old.
Yes.
And so we just decided maybe we should shoot some. We have no pictures of ourselves together.
Right. It's not that we're super vain and we don't want to age. We're not like those people. It's just we're never together.
We've never bothered to stage a shoot since the original like book cover shoot
in 2001.
Yes. Anyway, so we're going to do a little bit of that in late September. Yeah.
Yes.
So a little merch is good.
Yeah. So Liz told us
there's some cute things there, cute designs. If you haven't visited, go to the Satellite Sister website. Click on the button shop and start shopping.
All right. Well, this weekend I'm going to a wedding and I'm kind of excited, first of all, because I don't really know the participants that well. So
that's good. That frees you up.
I mean, I don't have a lot of burden. Like I don't have any responsibility.
Emotional investment.
No, but it's just kind of fun because these are just two crazy kids that used to work for my husband. And they met like while they were working for my husband and then they started a relationship. So one of them left and they did it all very properly and now they're getting married.
That's
and I'm very happy for them. Yeah. So we're going to that. So I've been very busy self-tanning my legs because I'm wearing it's a fancy dress and then shoes, but I'm not wearing stuff.
But you're wearing shoes. Okay, excellent.
I'm going to do both.
You're really
things.
taking it up a notch with the shoes.
And Third Love bra and some MeUndies, I'm guessing.
No, I ordered the special Third Love. I had to buy a strapless bra, which I haven't worn in 100 years. So it's like a
strapless. Wow.
It's Madonna level bra. That's all I can tell you. I mean,
you mean with the cone?
It's like an armored strapless bra. I'm I'm excited.
We need photos of that too.
But mainly I have to self-tan my legs because that's a must for this. Because as I think I mentioned, I barely left the house in August, so they're not tan on their own. So I got to self-tan my legs. But Liz, you are not going to be here next week. Because you are?
Well, I'm traveling to give a speech at the beginning of the week, but then my actual to-do list item is the end of next week. I am moderating a keynote panel at the World Mobile Congress in Los Angeles. So if you are in, say, the microwave business, you're probably going to be there. Here in LA, I am moderating a panel on mobile technology.
Wait, is that where you're going to be next week?
Well, I'm going to be
in Portland.
I'm going to be in Portland next week.
Oh, okay.
At the beginning of the week.
This is something
and
else.
Then this is something else. I'm
My
doing
gosh.
2 things in a week, Leanne. 2 things.
Woo!
2 things.
She's a superstar, Liam.
Wow.
So you know how I like my conferences. Anyway, keynote panel. There's like a guy from AEG, the big live events company, a guy from Boingo, wireless company, and Rick Fox, the former Laker who's now in esports.
Oh, okay.
So that's my panel. And I have to make it fascinating and fun about mobile technology. So,
well, I think you should ask that Boingo representative about microwaves. Yep.
Okay. That's not what I've been asked to do, but I'm going for it, Julie.
Maybe on the aside. You don't have to do it as part of the.
Oh yeah, right.
If you could get us some more details, we would appreciate that.
I think you should just hold up your phone and go, "Can one of you help me? Why do some calls ring and other calls I can't hear?"
That's what I should do. That's what the Mobile World Congress wants me to do on the keynote stage in front of thousands of people. I'd look like one of those senators in that hearing when they had Zuckerberg like, excuse me. Yeah, I'll do that.
I had to go to the iPhone store in August because I needed a new battery, and my phone apparently has bad batteries. So they were replacing them for like $12. It's the cheapest thing at the Apple store. So I felt like I had nailed it. I walked in, I knew my Apple password.
Wow.
Okay. I had already backed up my whole phone on the cloud. And I thought, I'm going to really impress the genius that I have both those things happening. And he looked at my phone, and the first thing he said was, "So are you in communication with a lot of hearing impaired people?" I was like, "What?" And he said, "Well, you have this special keyboard function featured so that you can plug in like a hearing impaired keyboard." I was like, no, I don't. I'm not involved with that.
I was not aware.
And then he said, "And have you noticed that none of the phone calls have been ringing? Because you've also turned off, like on another thing, I had like turned off the ring."
Well, at least you had noticed that.
I had noticed it. I was like,
genius.
I am an idiot. So you might want to do that. All right.
Hey, though, speaking of your mobile devices, in our effort to share the sisters, what did we notice technology-wise, download-wise during the month of August, Leanne?
That we had just as many downloads in August as we do when we actively produce 4 outstanding shows every month. That people were just listening to our back catalog. Like really listening. Thousands and thousands and thousands of downloads.
Yes, you went into some deep cuts. There are a lot of shows there from 2007, 2009, and that's what you listened to during the month of August. So that's great. Please, it's all there. And also, if you want to share those, any sharing you do, we're for.
Yes.
So thank you for listening, and thank you for sharing the sisters.
All right. We'd also like to thank our engineer, Sergio Enriquez. Thank you, Sergio. So next week, it's just going to be Julie and I. Mm-hmm. And I know
we're going to... special things planned, right, Liam?
Well, I figure, let's toss it out there. We are going to talk about parents, if you actually...
should track your teenager
on your phone. Speaking of phones, like how many of you have your teenagers on your phone and you can track them? And what do you feel like about that? So we'll post a question at the Facebook group and you can answer in, and Julie and I are going to weigh in on that. I think there are actually, 2 sides to that story, maybe even 2 or 3 sides to that story. Does that work? Are there 3 sides to things?
Sure.
All right. Yeah. Anything else, girls?
No, that's it.
Nope, that's good. Have a good week.
Thanks.
Yeah,
you too.
everybody.
All right.
Happy to be back.
Don't forget, call your satellite sister.